When you think of this past year, which events stand out for you? You have the midterm elections, the war in Ukraine, the constant complications from the pandemic. And while issues like inflation are expected to continue on, we found in talking to people who we've met over the past year that they're carrying a lot of hope heading into 2023. Whenever I set out to tell a story. Hey Jessica, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
My goal is to find people like Jessica Walks First. Thank you so much for doing this.
No problem.
And Brianna Dietrich. Hey Brianna, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Because at the core of our nation's biggest issues, there are people like them. People just like us. Good, you can hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. You'd think I would know how to do a video call 2 years into the pandemic by now.
Just a little.
I met Brianna in May at the height of the baby formula shortage.
All right. You ready?
We rode with her and her daughter around their West Virginia town in search of formula.
This recall was 4 months ago. Where's the formula?
Knowing where we were at, it still breaks my heart every day.
Today it's a different story. It's estimated roughly 87% of formula is in stock, but the shortage isn't over. Roughly a third of adults with newborns at home said in a recent U.S. Census survey they're still struggling to find what they need, and formula makers expect some shortages to continue until the spring. I mean, is it still difficult for some people to find formula in West Virginia?
Some people is not the word. Everybody is the word.
Like the difficulty of finding the right baby formula, skyrocketing food prices is not an issue that ends as the calendar turns its last page. Where are things right now?
Well, they've gotten better in some aspects, and in some aspects they're still the same.
Jessica is a Chicago chef who owns a catering business that specializes in Native American food.
As you can see, I'm tired.
She sent me this video in the fall. Food and shipping costs were so high, it was cheaper for her to make 500-mile round trips to reservations states away multiple times a month to get her ingredients.
I'm not driving as much, thank God. I did find a good source for my wild rice where it now gets shipped to my house in 50-pound bags. So I at least have that going for me, which saves me at least 3 to 4 rides a month.
The USDA expects food prices to continue to rise in 2023, but not at a rate as drastic as this year's spike. What are your hopes for next year?
We get a little bit better back to the old normalcy.
How do you still find ways to have hope and be optimistic going forward? As far as advice for a new year, Jessica says don't lose sight of yourself and what hasn't changed.
I don't treat this as a job. This isn't a work for me. This is my passion, my life dream, and I give it all I got.